I was in a songwriting desert for over 10 years, so I had hit a really wide dry spell. And I do believe there are seasons for things. I think that that's scriptural and that that's okay. But sometimes when you're a creative person and nothing creative is happening, it can be very frustrating. So I want to start there because I think it's easy to get discouraged if you're in a dry season. Let me encourage you that God is teaching you something. He is teaching you something. And it's going to be something that over time you become aware of. It could be tomorrow, the middle of the night. It could be a week from now, a month from now. It doesn't really matter. You are never where you are for no purpose or reason, okay? Think about Moses for 40 years before the wilderness, okay? When he fled Egypt, he was in Midian for 40 years, right? 40 years he tended sheep. And I'm sure he thought, wow, I thought I was going to do something for these people of Israel, and here I am tending sheep. This is a serious waste of my time. I'm sure he was very frustrated, but look at the things he learned in that 40 years of time. He learned how to find water in arid places. He learned how to find food. He learned how to tend unruly sheep. I think that the nation of Israel was even more unruly than the flocks that he tended. So this was God preparing him. So I encourage you, if you're not writing right now, or if your writing isn't going the way you would like it to go, God's got it. There's a reason. And listen, when I was taking care of my mom and watching her health go down and having our daughter's marriage fall apart, I honestly thought, well, you're never going to sing again because who wants to listen to that, you know? But God has turned this into such a ministry I never could have envisioned. So I encourage you, wherever you are in your writing, keep writing, because you just never know. I always encourage people to listen to lots of things and find out what resonates with you. Find out what frees you up. You know, what takes your mind to another place. Sometimes it helps you kind of find your feet with your platform. If you find somebody you really like, I also suggest you listen to people who are better than you are, where you are. If someone is further along in their journey, they've been writing for a while and they're pretty good at it, and they're open to it, you know, come alongside of them because you can learn a lot from them. For me, in the beginning especially, there was a lot of trial and error. I have notebooks full of songs no one will ever hear, and that's a good thing. Trust me when I tell you. Some of them are really pathetic songs. It's all right. You can write a bunch of bad songs. Everybody writes a bunch of bad songs before you write a really good song. Sometimes one good song will have several, I don't like this word, but I can't think of another one, incarnations before they become the actual song that you end up with. I have gone back to the same topic, sometimes 2 or 3 times before I finally find the melody that best suits that message, right? Sometimes the first 2 or 3 tries, it's almost there, but it doesn't resonate. And then all of a sudden, I'll figure it out. Maybe I needed to flip a phrase around or look at it from a different angle. There's all kinds of ways to approach it, but that works for me. Trial and error really works for me. You want that song to be remembered, right? Your lyric needs to also contain within the structure of the words a component of melody that fits your melody line that's in your music. It's critical. We tend to have forgotten that. I hear a lot of songs that are real chewy. There's no meter that fits the music meter. It's like they're just trying to cram it all in and say it. And it's really good stuff they're trying to say. I get it. I totally get why someone wanted to say what they said. But if they had taken a minute or flipped the phrase around, or maybe looked for a slightly different word that may have conveyed the emotion and thought that they were trying to say in a better way, it would have been a great song. And I might have remembered it. You have to be sensitive to not be predictable, okay? Because your ministry hinges on creating moments for people. You can't keep trying to create the same moment with the same song every time. Okay? Because what happens to people is they're going to say, oh, it's this song. If you are a vocalist, your voice is your instrument. So the same things that apply to somebody who's playing a flute or a guitar or the piano apply to you. You have to learn to best use your instrument. Whether you're a soprano who can knock the socks off of people or a contralto like I am, you have to know how to phrase your songs. Breath support. You don't want to be pitchy. I don't care how good you are. If you're running out of air, you might get pitchy. If you're overly emotional, you might get pitchy. Hello, I've done that one. Have to learn how to approach the song. Is it intimate? How do you make your voice sound intimate? Are there techniques you can learn? If you need a bigger sound, are there some techniques you can learn for that? A good way to find somebody who gets you, it's okay for you to audition producers. It's like they're looking for a job, because they are. You're going to pay them. So you can ask them, what's your experience? How many people have you produced for? Who are they? Can I talk to them? Because if you have a producer and he's produced for, say, 3 or 4 people, or 30 people, but none of them like him, that may mean he's a bully. It may mean he puts his identity stamp on every project he does. And it's not about you, it's about him or her, okay? So be really careful. It's like they're wanting your job. So ask who they've worked for, how many projects have they recorded, is there a specific genre that they like to use when they're producing? All of these are very, very, very important. You got to know what they charge. Hello. Budget is critical. When you go to Nashville, one of the things that is very, very expensive besides the studio time is your producer. Because almost everybody in Nashville has been around a while, and the reason they're in Nashville is they're good. Good costs you money. So if you've got, 15 songs, and you want to do an album, probably not going to do it in Nashville, have anything left. I'd probably get through 3 songs and my budget would be more than shot. So it's a good idea to know what your budget is and where you can go to get the best bang for your buck, okay? Some producers, the one I have now, can pinch a penny till it begs for mercy. And nobody hearing that CD is going to ever know, because he's that good. He's creative. He knows the sound we're going for, and he will make it happen. But he can do it on the cheap. Another reason why I love him so much. Do they have a reputation for delivering what they promise you? Okay, you need to star that, highlight that, underscore it several times, because many people will tell you they can deliver you the moon and they can't even give you a piece of rock. Okay? I heard this guy once say, he saw this guy bring in this drum kit with like a gazillion pieces, and he was like, whoa, this is going to be good. The guy could not play drums, but he had this huge kit. And it was kind of like the huge kit was supposed to impress people so much that they didn't notice the drummer could not play. He couldn't do simple patterns at all. Okay? So, can he deliver? Can he deliver what he says, but can he, more importantly, deliver what you want? Because most people have a very negative approach to basically anything, right? I am one of those people, my husband will tell you. As soon as God says, I want you to do something, my first response, like Moses, is, oh, I can't do that. No, I couldn't possibly do that. About 1.5 years ago, Mary said, you should write a book. Oh, I could never do that. I don't have that in me, I'm a songwriter. Songwriters don't write books. Songwriters write songs. Songwriters take ideas and they compress them. Say it in 3 minutes, guess what? Wrote a book. God actually wrote the book. Stephen Curtis Chapman's greatest gift to me was he was positive. Right off the jump, right? And that brings out the best in people. Have you ever noticed, you ever been around somebody like that? And then you leave thinking, I could do this. Wow. If you get off the phone with somebody and it's been a really great conversation, you think, wow, I can do this. Rather than, oh man, I might as well just hang it up now and forget the whole thing. You need to write what you know. I see a lot of people trying to be somebody else with their writing, okay? Where are you? Where are you? What is God doing in your life? What has God brought you through? What have you been learning? Where are you in your journey as a Christian? This is difference between a Christian songwriter who wants to convey Christ Jesus in their songs to a secular artist who just wants to tell you, you know, met a girl, found a girl, lost a girl, got the girl back again. Or, you know, I broke up with my boyfriend again, he stinks, AKA Taylor Swift. Okay, so, and I'm not saying they don't write good songs, they do, they're catchy, they're great, you can't forget them. Shake it off, good song. But with a Christian, right, especially if you are in front of a Christian audience, a body of believers, and your goal is to have them come away with something, to encourage their hearts, to maybe teach them something that God has taught you. This is what Christianity is for. We're community, we're family. So if you have this gift God has given you, what an honor it is for you to share what God has put on your heart. So I say this, write what you know, where you are, what you're passionate about. And right now my ministry is to people who are grieving, because I've walked that path. Didn't want to, hated every step of the journey. If I could erase it from my mind and my heart, I would do it. But that's not God's plan for us. It's never his plan for us. He gives us things to go through. He equips us to go through them. Then he teaches us a mighty lesson. And he wants us to encourage the body of Christ with what we've learned. When you are a singer-songwriter, wow, what a powerful combination you've been given. You can take everything that God brings into your life, and you can convey it through a song.